Some 6 years ago, I was actually thrown into Satanism. And when I first got into Satanism, it was on the internet. I used to be an atheist. As many people know, I was an atheist for over 15 years. And I was comfortable with it. But I've always just detested Christians. I just think they're just a huge pain in the ass, at least. And I remember one time I was at the library, and the internet, it was new to me back then. I was just getting into it, and I got on this forum, this atheist forum. And I posted a couple things or replies on there, I don't remember, but some Christian really, really got in my face when I went back and checked it out again. And just read me the riot act, they're just so superior to me and all that garbage. And I was so mad. I was just pissed off. And I remember I went and I got a copy of the Satanic Bible. I had a copy of the Satanic Bible, Anton LaVey's Satanic Bible, when I was a teenager. It was like 12 or 13, and I remember I was raised Catholic, and I kept it hidden in a top drawer in my bedroom. And I used to read it whenever I could, and I think I got about halfway through it. And I don't know what happened to it after that, but I was always afraid of getting caught reading it. And I feel bad because, a lot of kids go through that now in these Christian homes, so much for free will. Oh, you get to choose and all this. Yeah, they're about the biggest liars there are. I don't think anything's more lying than a Christian. More hypocritical. Anyway, I went and I bought the Satanic Bible again, and I read it through. And it really appealed to me. That book just made me feel good. And after that, I had the concept that Satan was an archetype, so this went well with my atheism. And I also went and bought the Satanic Rituals. And I started reading the Satanic Rituals. When I got to about the middle of the book, I was starting to research Satanism on the internet because it appealed to me, and I thought that actual Satanism was extreme anti-Christian. Basically, like I said, I had gotten the concept that Satan was an archetype from Anton LaVey in his writings. But there were a couple of discrepancies that I questioned in the Satanic Rituals. Anton LaVey wrote about demons and as real beings. And when I started reading the book by Blanche Barton, The Church of Satan, she spoke of Satan and his demons as real beings. And this sort of intrigued me because I was an atheist at the time, and I didn't believe in any spirits or any soul or anything like that. So I started researching on the internet. And this was the year 2000, 1999, 2000. And there wasn't hardly anything on the internet at all about Satanism other than the First Church of Satan. And Egan had some interesting material on there. It was one of the few with links to Nate Levitt's site, Satan's Playground. And I remember it was really cold, and I was up in Minneapolis, and it was getting late at night. And I wanted to go to the library to print some information out from Nate Levitt's site about demons. And I was debating whether I should go or not, because it is cold up there. They have like Russian winters. And then there was a money issue, because I didn't have a whole heck of a lot of money, and I don't want to spend the extra bus fare. And for the first time, a voice came into my head and told me to go up to the bus driver and ask for a transfer when I get off. And normally, it's against the rules, at least up in Minneapolis, they will not give you a transfer when you're getting off. You have to ask for it when you get on, or you're shit out of luck. I did what this voice told me to do. And I asked for a transfer. And I couldn't believe it. He just gave me one. So there was my return trip, free. So I went to the library and I printed out a lot of information. from Nate Levitt's website, Church Lucifer. And I started reading about demons, and these voices kept coming to me and telling me different things. And I found they're giving me some good advice and help. And from then on, I realized Satan is real. I used to think that Satan was communicating with me when I was new, but I actually didn't meet Satan until must have been about a year after I did my dedication. And back at that time, there was all kinds of just, trash about Satanism on the internet. Christian-dominated websites, you punch in Satanism or Satan, and you got all this lying trash and this garbage. And I tried to find books about Satanism at the library. I really didn't know what to do, where to go. And there was hardly anything. Everything was like Christian-dominated. And if you get into the occult, they had all that Hebrew garbage in it, and these angels and all this. It's just trash. And these demons would keep coming to me and helping me out, giving me good advice. And I began a meditation program. I had like a negative psychic experience too, which I had read enough. Order of Nine Angles had a good website, and I read everything back at that time, all of their writings on there, and how to meditate and how to do the dedication to Satan. And that's what I went by. And I had known from that negative psychic experience to just tune it out. So I did. And the message got through to me that, hey, I need to meditate. So I began a meditation program where I was meditating on a regular basis, doing a lot of void meditation. And my mind was coming under control a lot better, and it was quiet for once. And I had demons working with me, basically trying to get me to meditate. Satan helped me out a lot, although I didn't meet him until a year later, face to face. A lot of these websites I saw that were satanic, they called it satanic, were some of the most sick, degraded filth I had ever seen, like blood sacrifice, drinking blood, butchering, just all this sick garbage that has nothing to do with Satanism whatsoever. Like these books in the stores. And I have read hundreds of books now on Satanism and the occult. And I've learned a lot on my own. And I joined some satanic e-groups, and I learned from there. And I studied constantly. Demons pushed me to study. And basically, Church Lucifer, Nate Levitt, he wrote a lot of good sermons, and Church of Lucifer, two of them were very enlightening and informative websites, even back then, about Satan as a real being. And then the Church of Satan, Anton LaVey, he's dead, but his Church of Satan is nothing but atheism, where basically, it was an Anton LaVey cult, and it didn't do anything for me. So I realized at some point in these experiences I was having with Satan and his demons, Satan started speaking to me, though I didn't see him, like I said, face to face, until a year after my dedication. I put up the Joy of Satan website because there was so much misinformation on Satanism and so much blasphemy against Satan. Everything was like from a Christian perspective. I had seen people, Satanists, who were actually apologizing for being Satanists. And it really, really upset me because it's like, you're in the right and you're apologizing, And over the period, these past 6 years, I have researched so much to where, I can prove that the Christian religion is a hoax and a lie. And Satan is our creator. And I'm pleased at this time the joy of Satan has brought thousands of people to Satan, has made them strong Satanists, and has put them on the path to Godhead, to where they're no longer spiritually enslaved by these lies and all this spiritual corruption and garbage out there. I did my dedication. I did it the Order of Nine Angles way. Most of it, anyway. I based my dedication on what was on their website, because there wasn't anything really on the internet or anywhere where you could find how to dedicate your soul to Satan. And I went to a park, and shortly after midnight, on the night of April 30th, I wrote a prayer. And in that prayer, I had all kinds, when I came to Satan, and during those several months, I think it was like 6 months, and then I did my dedication. Since I first read the Satanic Bible, as I mentioned before in this sermon, I had had so much spiritual harassment, and I was getting so tired of it. I said, well, I want to do my dedication to get this scum off my back, this Christian filth, these grays and these spooks and all this garbage, that try to harass you. And I've actually found that a lot of angels are thought forms. There are enemy Nordics, but the majority of these angels are programmed thought forms, because they can't reason, they can't think, they're stupid, and they're just programmed to harass you. And I just was so tired of it. So I went to this park at 12 o'clock midnight on the night of April 30th. That was shortly after midnight. And I wrote this prayer to Satan, and I asked him to make me a really, really strong Satanist. And that was basically all that I asked.